This massive, darkened arena represents the baseline for the 2026 gaming industry, a space defined by intense competitive pressure. In this environment, player burnout is the default. Developers are finding that standard cosmetic patches no longer provide enough friction to keep an audience from drifting toward a different title. For a game to survive this market, it has to do more than just exist on a hard drive. It has to execute a hostile takeover of a player's attention, shifting the developer's focus from selling a software product to curating a comprehensive daily lifestyle. These players at the TT Global Desk are the targets for Blizzard's calculated response to that retention crisis. They are entering Overwatch Season 3, Into the Tiger's Den, a season built to test exactly how much a single update can demand from its community. The takeover strategy relies on three specific pillars: a mechanical disruption of the combat meta, a map architecture that emphasizes vertical movement, and an aggressive transmedia push that follows players into their offline lives. By stacking these elements, Blizzard forces Overwatch beyond the scope of a standard patch, building an entertainment ecosystem designed to lock in attention before players can even consider a rival hero shooter. The mechanical disruption starts with Xion, Hero 52. As the leader of the Hashimoto clan, her human omnic design immediately sparked debate, signaling a shift in how Blizzard defines the deadly archetype in the Overwatch universe. Her combat loop is built for speed. She dual-wields semi-automatic pistols, explicitly tuned for close-quarters flanking, requiring a high-risk playstyle that forces her to dive deep into enemy territory. Xion's most disruptive tool is Joyride. This ability lets her mount a motorcycle for extreme mobility, but its true value is offensive. She can dismount at top speed, launching the bike forward as a heavy, weaponized projectile into the enemy front line. To make her even more oppressive, the Faces of Death major perk grants her the benefits of every other damage sub-roll passive. This includes the wall hacks of Recon, the reload speed of the Specialist, and the cooldown reductions of the Sharpshooter. When you pair that with her Rapid Reload perk, which refills her ammo every time she uses her Evade Dash, it creates a hero that maintains offensive pressure without the traditional downtime of a reload animation. This kit effectively rewrites the competitive meta. Teams can no longer rely on static formations or predictable choke points. They are forced to account for a hyper-mobile flanker who can strike from any angle. Xion's mobility is supported by the physical design of Neon Junction. This Tokyo-based hybrid map is the thematic heart of the Hashimoto clan's territory, and its layout is as aggressive as its leader. The map designers moved away from traditional flat lanes, choosing instead to focus on extreme verticality. Combat zones are layered on top of each other, creating multiple height advantages for players to fight over. This high-angle view of Akihabara illustrates the density players have to navigate. The tight overpasses and jutting neon signs act as a playground for hit-and-run tactics, providing dozens of elevated perches for mobile heroes to exploit. The map also features a moving train as a specific environmental hazard. It demands constant spatial awareness, as a single moment of careless positioning can result in an instant elimination, regardless of a player's health pool. Neon Junction acts as a filter for the player base. Its architecture rewards those who can master vertical execution, while severely punishing teams that remain tethered to the ground. To keep players thinking about the game even after they log out, Blizzard utilizes transmedia storytelling, expanding the narrative across comics, music, and social media to monopolize their free time. The Facing Demons comic is a prime example. It moves past simple action to explore the psychological manipulation and trauma Xion inflicted on Mizuki, giving the Hashimoto conflict an emotional weight that isn't possible to convey during a 6-minute match. This offline narrative builds the foundation for the Anima Strike event. By the time players engage with the in-game objectives, they are already invested in the outcome of a story that started weeks ago in a digital comic. The Yoasobi musical collaboration serves as the final link. By creating an official song and animated video, Blizzard bridges the gap between competitive gaming and mainstream J-pop culture, turning the game into a broader cultural event. By weaving character trauma with chart-topping music, Blizzard ensures that the Overwatch brand remains a constant presence in a player's life, even when they aren't actively holding a controller. In the world of high-end live services, the standalone multiplayer shooter is being replaced by the lifestyle game, a model where engagement is expected to be persistent. The Reign of Talon's story arc creates a self-sustaining loop. The narrative in the comics leads players to the music videos, building anticipation for the seasonal mechanics, which in turn drive the community back to the lore to see what happens next. This exhausted, hyper-focused state is the intended result of this level of engineering. When a game offers this much interconnected content, rival titles are forced to rethink their own seasonal models just to remain visible. Maintaining a player base in this market now requires the production value of a long-running television series, complete with its own soundtracks, literature, and evolving physical laws. Season 3 indicates how far Blizzard will go to secure loyalty in a crowded market. By combining aggressive hero mechanics with a cross-platform narrative, they have transformed Overwatch from a simple competitive program into a persistent, engineered cultural environment.